Good morning. Quantitative techniques we have studied in third semester become the fundamentals of quantitative techniques, the definition, meaning, and functions of quantitative techniques, and the uses of the quantitative techniques, collection of data, the different methods of collection of data, the measures of central tendency, measures of good morning. We have to discuss the quantitative techniques second part or quantitative techniques 2 meant for BCom fourth semester BCom as per VSK University Bellary. In the third semester we have discussed the meaning, definition, functions, and the characteristics, the limitation of the statistics, and also the primary and secondary sources of collection of data, and measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode, geometric mean, harmonic mean, and measures of dispersion, mean deviation, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and so on, and skewness. In the second part of quantitative techniques in fourth sem, we have to discuss the index numbers, correlation, regression, time series analysis, and probability as per your syllabus. Today we have to go for discuss the index numbers. Then day to day we have to reading in newspapers and in medias. One can nowadays say that the prices of various commodities are increasing day by day, and the prices of the petrol, diesel, or gold, silver, ornaments gold can be nowadays increasing in the market, and share prices in the market now that shows increase or decrease, and these are we are studying in the newspapers. In the index number we have to study the changes of the prices of various commodities over a periods of time. Now the prices of the current year can be compared to the base year or the previous year. Now we have to be convert into ratio, or they can be expressed in percentage. Now that helps us to know that whether the prices of the commodity has been increased or decreased. Now in this we have to go for studying in the introduction an index number which shows how average of commodity prices, the prices may be wholesale or retail prices, and the wages etc. change over time. Index number are expressed in absolute form. Over time means as compared to the different periods of time. The prices of 2021 now that can be compared to the 2020, or the prices of 2010 can be compared with the prices of 2021 over a 10 or 11 years. Then what is the changes in the price level? Now that can be discussed. And what is the movement of the changes in wholesale or retail prices of various commodities? You know, the gold price in the year 1993 to 1995, 10 grams gold price where it is rupees 4,500 to 5,000. Now the same gold price of 10 grams, now it is 49,000 to 51,000 at present. Then what is the ratio of change in the price of the gold over a different points or different periods of time? Now that can be studied with the help of the index numbers. The wages. Then what is the wage rate as compared with the previous periods? Now what is the wage now that should be payable according to the wage policy to the laborers? Now in this case also we have to calculate the changes in the wage rate. Then what is the rate of wages in the year 2015? Then what is the wages in the year 2021 over a period of 5 or 6 years? Then what is the amount of wages is increased over a period? Now that can be discussed and studied. The price change of each commodity is expressed typically in percentage terms, and then the average of the price changes of these commodities is calculated. This will enable us to compare the price movements over different time periods. Then the definition according to the Weldon, index number is a statistical device for indicating the relative movements of the data where measurements of actual movements is difficult or incapable of being made. Now in this case the statistical device or techniques now that can be used to calculate the index numbers or to calculate the changes of the prices of the various commodities, whether it may be retail or nowadays wholesale prices. It means that the data can be collected. Then what is the prices of different commodities in the year 2020, and what is the prices of different commodities in the year 2021. Now the measurement now that can be made and now that can be expressed in the percentage, the rate at which the prices of the commodity can be increased or decreased. Now the price may be increased sometime or it may be decreased also. Then according to F.Y. Edgeworth gave classical definition of index numbers. Index number shows by its variations the changes in a magnitude which is not susceptible either of accurate measurement in itself or of direct valuation in practice. Now it shows variation means difference in changes over a different points of time as compared to the nowadays different periods of nowadays time. Now that is called the index numbers. Then what are the uses of the index numbers? Then basically the index number is called the economic barometer of the country. Economic barometer, it means that now it helps us to know that the growth of economy, then how the economy or the rate now that can be measured, and it helps the nowadays government to form the certain nowadays policies in regarding import and export is concerned, because where the prices of certain commodities are increasing day by day, where they are essential, the government will go for taking certain policy or impose certain restrictions not to export other countries, because shortage leads to increase in the prices, so that they can nowadays ban or restrict or impose the exporting the nowadays goods. Therefore, they are called the economic barometer. Index number helps in studying trends and tendencies. Then, what is the trend? It means that then according to the new trend, then what is the policy now that can be followed? Then what are the nowadays uh, modifications now that should be made to according to the innovation in the market, now that can be studied with the help of the now that is index numbers. And thirdly, index number helps in formulating decisions and policies. The government will go for taking certain decisions in regarding the education, or it may be employment, or it may be production of different commodities are concerned. Then in this regard, the government will take a decision in regarding to build houses for the poor peoples with least cost, and they will also go for increase the agriculture production according to the rate of increase in population, and at the same time they will go for framing the certain policies in regarding the wages, salaries and allowances payable to the employees or workers of the government or private organization. Then according to that policy, it may be import policy or export policy, production policy, then whatever may be the concern, they are framed with the help of the index number. Then price indices measure the purchasing power of the money. You know very well. Then ask your grandfather or father, at the age of 5 or 10 years, during their nowadays childhood, then what is the rates of the certain commodities? Now there is a lot of difference, Now, as already told that in the year 1992, 10 grams of gold can be available in the market, 4,500 to 5,000, but that 10 grams of gold, the same available in the market, now that is 49,000 to 59,000. Then it shows that the purchasing power of the money can be decreasing day by day, and the purchasing power of the money now that can be measured with or against the other country currency. Then as comparing to our Indian currency to the American dollar, then what is per dollar American dollar is to be exchanged Indian currency. It may be of 74 or 75 rupees per dollar. Now it shows that the purchasing power of the money now that can be now that is decreasing. In the years of 1990 or 95, then Indian currency can be exchanged American dollar. It may be of rupees 35 to 40 rupees. Now it is 75 to 80 rupees nearby. Therefore, index numbers are used for or to know the purchasing power and to take any decisions of the concerns. Then importance of index numbers are concerned. Measure changes in price levels and standard of living. Then what is the price level change? You know that the workers or the employees can demand to increase the salaries and wages. And the government will go for conducting survey in regarding the price increase of various commodities according to the rate of increase in the essential commodities. They will go for allowing dearness allowance. And what is the standard of living? Then according to the standard of living, then what they are required to nowadays spend. Now that can be measured with the help of the index number. And the index number are the regulations of wage rate. The wage regulations are to be framed by the different states of the government, or it may be the central government. According to the state government regulations, then one has to pay the wages to the workers per day of 8 hours, or it may be per week or per month. And it also nowadays one of the important role determination of government policies. The government policies are framed with the help of the nowadays index numbers. Now I already explained that nowadays the production policy is concerned, import policy, export policy, whatever may be the case, now that can be determined with the help of the nowadays index number, and it guide for the businessman. Now it helps to know that now raw materials are concerned, or it may be the rate of commodities in the market is concerned. Then what is to be produced, what is not to be produced, now that can be decided by the businessmen. And it also nowadays helps to nowadays international comparisons, then national levels and also international levels. Then what is the rate of different commodities where they are available, the rate at which they can be available can also be decided. And in determining the foreign exchange rate also the index numbers are used. Then certain problems are involved in construction of the index numbers. They are also called the steps. First one is the selection or the choice of a base year. Then we have to go for select the base year. You know, the base year is the year with which the comparison is made. Now you see at present we are in 2021, to measure the prices of commodities in the year 2021, it can be compared to the previous years. Previous year it may be 2020, or it may be 2010, or it may be 2015, whatever may be the year. The year with which the comparison is made is called the base year. The selection of the base year is one of the problem, or it is the first step. Now that should be involved in construction of the index number, and the base year should be very close to the current year. It should not be the abnormal period. Now that should be keep in mind at the time of the nowadays selection of the base year. For instance, where you are going to nowadays estimating the crop production of paddy in certain places, then where you are taking nowadays current year is the 2021, you don't go for selecting 2009 is the base year, because it is the abnormal period because of floods or heavy rainfalls. The production of paddy nowadays incurred heavy losses, so that it is not nowadays close to the current year. And at the same time, second problem or the second step is that averaging of the prices. Then what is the average price now that should be selected to construct the index number is also one of the step now that should be taken. The average price means the different nowadays years are the prices of the different commodities. Now how they can be taken in average, and different methods now that should be available for construction of the index number. Which one is the best formula that should be nowadays selected, and difficult in obtaining the correct data. The data collection is most important. Now In different places the different commodities are demanded. In different places some of the peoples are using more rice. In different places some of the peoples are using more jawar or more wheat, like that. In this case, the data collection should be nowadays made very carefully and difficult in selection of the prices. You know very well, the prices of the commodities are vary in different places, and at the same time in the prices are vary from shop to shop also. At the time of selection of the prices of the commodities, in this case one has to go for contacting marketing inspector, then what is the commodity price for a particular commodity, and at the same time then what is the price now that should be charged in the departmental stores, those prices are to be taken. And last one is difficult in selection of commodities and choice of weights. Then what are the commodities are included in construction of the index number is also important, and what are the weights is to be selected, they can also be taken into consideration. Then limitations of index number. Now it is not free from the certain limitations. They are also suffering from certain limitations. They are simply rough indications of the relative changes. Now what you are calculating the nowadays changes in the prices or movement of prices. Now that is one is arguing that now it is the rough indication. It is not a permanent or it is not a original one. And secondly, the choice of a representative of commodity may lead to fallacious conclusions as they are based on samples. What the sample now we are collected in regarding the choice based quantities, now they should not be correct, they should not be original. Now it is one of the limitation, and there may be error in the choice of base periods or weights selection. Now I has already told that the base period should not be the abnormal period, and it should be very close to the current year. Where one is selecting the abnormal period, now the main object of the construction of the index number can be failure. And choice of weight, then in case you see, now that is what is the weight is to be given for the food, what is the weight is to be given for the clothing, what is the weight is to be given for the rent, and what is the weight is to be given for the education. The question that should be arises, more weight is to be given for the food, shelter, or it may be education. Now in this regard the care should be taken at the time of weighing the various commodities. And fourth one is concerned for a comparison of changes in variables over long period are not reliable. The changes is quite common. Now where the changes over a long period, nowadays they are not reliable. According to nowadays certain changes, the prices can also be changed. Now the certain types or methods now that can be used to construct the index numbers. Now first one is called the simple index number or general index number. Second one is the composite index number. Third one is the price index number, and fourth one is the quantity index number. Now in this regard we will go for using the certain methods to construct the index number. One is concerned for unweighted index number, another one is concerned for the weighted index number. Then unweighted index numbers we have to study it under two heads or two methods. Now one is the simple aggregative method, and another one is the simple average of price relatives. You see, in unweighted index numbers, the simple aggregative method is concerned. This is a simplest method of construction of index number. When this method is used to construct the price index, the total current year prices of the various commodities is divided by the total of the base year prices, and coefficient is multiplied by 100. Now it means that the current year prices of all the commodities it may be A, B, C, D, now they should be taken. The current year means now 2021 For example, the prices of the 2021, now that can be given in your problem. Now it is the current year. Now it can be indicated by P1. P1 means price of the current year. 1 indicates the current year figure, and where at the same time the prices of the various commodities A, B, C, D, E for the year 2020 is given. This period is called the base period. The prices of the base period can be denoted by P0. 0 indicates the base period and 1 indicates the current period. The total of the current year prices can be taken, and that can be divided by the base year prices. You see, P1 equal to total current year prices of various commodities. P0 equal to total base year prices of the previous year. In this case, now where it is divided, now that is called coefficient, and that should be multiplied by the 100. We can get the percentage of changes in the prices. You see, I am taken one of the nowadays example for this one. From the following data, construct an index number for 2019, taking 2000 now that is 18 as a base year. 2019 and 2018. 2019 is the current year for this one, and 2018 is the base year. The commodities A to E, now they are given. The prices in 2018, now that is given, and 2019 prices are also given. Now that is you see, now that is a commodity A 60 in 2018. In 2019 the prices are 80 rupees. Commodity B 60 rupees, 80 rupees. Commodity C 80, 90, D 100, 140, E 40 and 50. Now you go for taking the sum. Taking the sum means now you go for getting, now that is indicate first what is the P1, what is the P0. I already stated that now at present, now that is what is the, now that is year is given, now that is 2019 is the current year, indicate it as P1, and 2018 indicated as P0, prices of base year and prices of the current year. It take total of sum of 2018 P0, now that comes to, now that is 340, and 2019 now the sum, now that comes to, now that is 440. Now that is 2018 prices are denoted by sigma P0, and 2019 prices, now that is sigma P1. Now that the formula now that can be used, P01 equal to, now that is the price index of base and current period, now that equal to sigma P1 divided by sigma P0 into 100. Sigma P1 now that is 440, sigma P0 now that is 340. Now where we are dividing these two, we are getting the coefficient, now that can be multiplied by the 100. You see, now that is P01 equal to sigma P1 divided by sigma P0 into 100. Now that equal to 440 divided by 340 into 100. The coefficient is 1.2941. Where it is multiplied by the 100, we are getting 129.41. Now it means that 29.41 the prices 29.41 percentage of prices are increased as compared to the previous year in 2000, now that is 19. Thank you. We will continue in the next class.